So in this video I'm going to show you the things we covered in our first Figma demonstration for our first class. Okay, so now if you open the Figma, you can see you can create a new file from here. So usually we just click on it and we said we want a new design file. Then it just leads us to this working space. Yes, so first thing of all, we will need to add a frame, right? So that's the similar thing as Illustrator, just as the artboard. So for the frame, when we click on it, select it, you can see at the right menu here are plenty of options. If you are doing a phone, if you're doing an app, you're going to pick a standard size for the phone screen size. Here are a lot of options. You can pick your phone from here, right? So if you are doing a tablet, here are the screen size for the iPad. If you're doing a website, you can pick a screen size for the MacBook, right? So the thing is, we can also customize your frame. So for example, I'm just randomly draw a frame, and from here under the layout, I can enter the number, I can enter the size I want. So for example, my kiosk is 300 by 330 by 600. Yeah, so that's my kiosk size. And I hit return. Then you can see I got the correct size here. So for your document, you can always rename it, right? So we double click, / class 1 demo, give it a name. Yeah, so for our first class, we talked about the layout, design, and also how to insert the image, how to make your page contents organized. So first, we're going to import our image. Usually we go to the shape tool here, right? Yeah, so usually we click on the shape tool, the button here. Then you can see the list of options, some standard shapes tool you can use, and we can also import the image from here. Click on it. So this is all the image we're going to use for this demo. Usually we just select them all and we will click on open. Yeah, the thing is we have to click on the space here, click it one by one, right? And you can see we got, I think it's 9 image. Click to display all of them, click to display them, right? Yeah, so the thing is some of them is quite huge. We will hold on the shift key and shrink the size. Hold on the shift key to shrink the size. Okay, yeah, so if you are not holding the shift key, you can see it just kind of cut your contents. So hold on shift key to shrink it. Hold on the shift key, shrink it, right? Yeah, you can select 2 of them, shrink it together, so we can use them later. Great. Okay, so this one is our reference image, right? We're going to do exactly the same contents here, so just for practice, right? So let's get started. First, we're going to start with the rectangle here. Okay, so first of all, let's rename our frame. So now it's called frame 1. If we double click, we can change the name. So for example, we are doing the burgers page, right? We'll just name it as burger. Yeah, so now let's get started. So first we will need a rectangle like this. Yeah, so we click on here, the shape tool, the button here, and we will go to the rectangle tool and we'll create a rectangle. right? Yeah, so you can always enter the size you want from here, right? So because now it's an exercise, we don't have to be very precise, but when you are designing your kiosk, you may want a precise size for your elements. So now the thing is, I want the layout to be accurate. So I want the rectangle to be displayed at the center of the page. So let's go to the position tool, which is the align tool in Illustrator, right? It's the same thing. Yeah, so we want to make it horizontal centers, right? So if it's off space, we will make it exactly at the center, right? We can also make something like vertical centers as well, right? So this element is exactly at the center of the page. Yes, but now I just need we just need it to be horizontal centers. So I'm going to type Command Z to make it go back. Yeah, so another helpful tool we can use is the layout grid here. So if you just simply click on it, you can find it's just automatically give you a layer the grids here. So you can always click on the layout grid settings, this button here, and you can change the size of your grid. So now right now it's 10. If we change it to 20, you can see it's just your grid, each square become bigger. Yeah, so we'll just use 10 would be great. So you can also change the type of the grid. So now it's just called grid. So if you go to the columns, you can see it's just a different types of layout. And also if you want to do the rows, right? So this is really helpful for the interface design, help you to create a well-organized layout. Yeah, so let's just do the grid 10 size 10 as example. Yeah, so from here you can see I can just make it more, drag it to make it more accurately aligned. You see it's a really good visual reference, right? Okay, so now what we need is we want to have a round corner here. So the same thing as the Illustrator, right? Here we can drag this little white circle, give it a radius. I'm going to drag it lower a little bit. Okay, so yes, so from here you can also change the corner radius you want. Right now it's 40, and if you kind of increase this number, you got more radius. Right, just depends on your own design, your own preference. Yeah, so now you can see it's it should be filled in with white. So now we are going to change the color of the shape here. So go to the fill. Right now it's a light gray. Right, we want a white. So we just bring it to the white. And okay, the thing is we also need a outline here, right? It's white, we cannot see anything. So usually we will add an outline to make it stand out. So here we go to the stroke. Click on the stroke, and now the stroke has been applied with a black stroke. Okay, so we're going to click on this little black square and change the color. Right, so I don't want it to be that black, so we are going to change it into a gray. Right, so to make it more stand out, we can also apply with a drop down shadow. So we need to go to the effects, click on the effects, and here shows the drop down shadow. Right, you can select different types of shadow you want. Also back down blur. Yes, so for example, we just select the job shadow, and by clicking this little effect settings, you can change the position. If we enter a 4, okay, you can see the shadow is moving. So you can also enter a negative number, right? Just make adjustment until you are satisfied with what you get. Okay, so usually I think one by one looks good to me. 1 and you can also decrease the blur. Yeah, so I just keep it in this way. So now we are going to add another several small squares and also add the image here. Yes, I'm going to start with the first one. Let's go to the rectangle tool. This is also the rectangle tool, and you see, if we when we're using the rectangle tool, if we hold on the shift key, it will just give us a standard square, right? Yes, and also the square need a round corner like this. Yeah, so let's add a color for it. So now it's gray. So if we really want this color, we can use the eyedropper tool, right? To click on the reference photo. Like, I want this color, click on it. You can see this color has been applied to my design here. Right, we're just going to use this one for the demo. Let's get the source here, the source image. Yeah, hold down shift key, shrink the size. Hold down shift key, shrink the size. Shrink the size. Give it a good size. So I want this image to be exact at the center of the square. So you can see the ruler, there is an auto ruler can help me do that, right? The red lines here, we call it ruler. Another way is you can click on for example, it's out of space. You can click on the image, you can click on the shape, and we will do horizontal centers, and we will also do align vertical centers. Then we can making sure that they are centered. Right? Going to put it back. And now I'm going to enter the name of this product. So it's called sauces. Right? Going to tab sauces. Yeah. So now you can change the text here from here. Right? You can shrink the size a little bit. But you can also enlarge it as you need it. Yes, and you can also change a typeface. Here are tons of selection. You may pick the one that you think is best for your own design. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm just using this one for demo. Yeah, so now I want to make the text also to be centered with the image, with the square. Right, so we can do this by the auto ruler can help us do it, but the align tool also can help us do it, right? So if I click on the name, I click on the square, and I can go to align horizontal centers. We can also align vertical centers. No, we don't need that. We just need horizontal centers, right? So now I'm going to group. So now I want to group the source image with the square. I'm going to hold on the shift key, clicking on the photo, clicking on the square, and Command G, right? So if you're using the Windows, go to Control G. That's the shortcut key. Or another way is you can select both right click and group selection. So that's the same thing. Yeah. So now I'm going to select both of the text and the image. Hold on Option Shift to copy another one. So from here we can how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can actually hold on Option Shift, Command D, Command D, Command D. So you can have a lot of them in a really fast way. Do we have enough? Okay, I think we'll still need another one. Anyway, I'm going to. Yeah, so okay, it seems like our square is too large. Yes, we want to make some adjustment. So we will be clicking on the rectangle here, and we're going to the layers, and we are going to lock it first. And that's so then we can select all the squares easily and just shrink them down to make sure finding a correct spacing for them. So we will still need some work on the text, right? Text. Yeah, so now we can change the image on each one of them. Okay, side, they're all here, sides. So if we want to replace the image inside, a way is we can right click to ungroup and select the image. Another easier way is you just keep double clicking, yes, and you can see I will select the elements inside, although they are grouped. But we can still hit the delete and replace with the new image here. Right, just making sure it's centered, right? Sides, and the text should also be centered. Oh, one. Okay, so one you want to center, but you can't. You may want to just change the bounding box here to make the bounding box exact at this size, right? Hold on, this going to horizontal centers. You can see now it line up well. Yeah, let's change the other one. Okay, hold on Shift key. So that's the same thing, double click, delete the image inside and replace with this one. Yeah, making sure it's centered, horizontal centered, vertical centered. Yes, and we will say jigs. Okay, so we change the bounding box to make it fit with the text, and we change make it horizontal centered. Right, so this is the other one. The next one is the burger. Burger is here. The burger, so double click, change it. Right, I'm going to do everything really fast. Okay. Okay, I think the auto ruler will always do a good job for you, so you do not have to go to the align tool every time, right? So now let's put a let's go to put a sandwich here. Double click, shrink the size. Centered, change the text. Okay, so when this happens, you will need to hold the bounding box, increase it, the size. So the last one is the keys menu. Going to put a small burger here. Double click, select the sauce, hit delete, put the burger here. Center. Okay, we'll need to change the bounding box. Center. Okay, so right now I want to make my text smaller, a bit smaller, so I'm going to delete the 10, enter 8. Okay, now it seems like it's much better. Yeah, just to make sure everything is aligned. It's aligned. Okay. I think it's already here. So when you are done with alignment, you will need to group. Let's group everything together. Group each one of the text with the image. The source, group, Command G. Remember how do we group? We use the shortcut key Command G. Command G, and Command G. Right. So then, when we select all of them. I don't think this one has been grouped correctly. Command G. Oh, so if you can't group anything, you have to check your layer, right? So right now the layer is the burgers layer. The image is not quite right, so it should be together with under the burgers pages, right? So if the image is not in the correct frame, it will not be working with other elements. So what we need to do is we just drag this burger image to under the burgers page, right? So now making sure it's under the burgers, which is our frame's name. Yeah. So now let's try Command G. You can see now it's grouped perfectly, right? So whenever you cannot group the things, check if they are under the same pages, right? And they should be under the same frame, right? Yeah. So now let's select all of them. There's another layout tool called Auto Layout. So once you apply with Auto Layout, click on here, right? Auto Layout. What you get is, you can see you get the even spacing between the elements, and it's very easy for you to adjust them. You just need to hold this little purple bar, drag it, right, to give it more space or decrease the blank space between the elements, and it will just keep them looks display evenly. Yeah, so now I want to make sure my elements is at the center of at exact center of the rectangle. What we do will unlock the rectangle. So I can select both my contents and the rectangle, and we will do a horizontal center, and we will do it with a vertical center, right? Because in the web interface design, layout is very important. We will need to make them very accurate. Yeah, so right now let's try to build the arrow here, right? So that's how we get to use with the pen tool. So the pen tool is very similar, work in the same way with Illustrator, right? So to build an arrow, let's see, first thing we will need to click to get a straight line. And we can type on V on your keyboard. So now we go to select the pen tool again, right? We can add an anchor point at the center point. You can see it automatically tell you where is the center point is here. We just click it and click it and V to get out of the pen tool, and we will click on this anchor point again, hold on shift key to drag it, right? To drag it, so you can see you get a symmetrical shape. It's a symmetrical arrow here, right? Yes. Yeah. So then we select this arrow and we can rotate it to make it face left. Yes, or you can just enter the 90% here and it will be 90%. Going to display it here with the auto ruler told me is good, right? So now we're going to flip it, copy and paste, Command C, Command V, and we have another one, right? So we right click and we said I want to do a flip horizontal. So I got an arrow for the other side. Hold on the shift key and move it to the right. Yeah, so if you think the layout is still not correct, you can group everything again, Command G, group the contents with the arrow. Yes, and we would select both and we will do a horizontal center again, right? So just to make sure everything is at the center. Yeah, so after, so that's how we get done with this part first. So yeah, so pretty much this is the hardest part. So for the rest part is just quite easy. Yes, all you need to do is to do a rectangle. Right, do a rectangle and put burger image inside. Yes, and I want the color. I'm just going to steal the color from here, right? Or I'm just use this same color here. So the good thing of Figma is it just keep all the color you already used for this page. It just keep here, so you do not need to pick again. You can just click on it, and you get the same color here. Yeah, probably we can be larger. Yeah. Okay. So for the burger image, we can just double click, get this burger here. Command C, Command V, drag it out. Right. Okay, the thing is it is at the back. Right click, bring it to front. Right. We have the same thing, work the same thing in Illustrator as well. Yeah, and we're going to yes, and we can also make sure it's at the center. It's at the center, right? Do both horizontal center and vertical center, and we can give the name of the it's big. It's called Big King, and I'm going to tap again. So the price is $4, and I want to change the color of the price. So we go to the view, and I want to use the color here. So I just used the eyedropper tool to click on the orange. So I got the same orange here. So now I'm just want to making sure the text there aligned. Select the both text, and we make sure it's horizontal centers, and we want to make sure the image and the text they are horizontal centered. Yes. Yeah, nice. So if I want to make the text into bold, I can do that as well, right? So this looks much better. Medium, great. Yeah. So now we're going to copy this one. Option Shift. Give it a good spacing. And yeah, copy another one, Command D. Yes. So then we're going to group. Let's group them, each one of them. Command G. Yes, and the other one is also Command G. Yeah, and I will select 3 of them. Option Shift, drag them down. Command D. Okay. And we will get more of them. Right. So if you want to change the name, you can always do that. Yes, double click and change the name, right? Yeah, so that's how this part works. And the last part is we will do a rectangle first, and we'll fill it with white. Yeah, so you can, if you can't see it clearly, you can always drag it out to do this design here first, then put it back. Then we were going to add a circle. Hold on the shift key, add a circle. Yes, and we want to make the circle to be at the center of the, to make it horizontal center again with the rectangle. Right. And we also want the circle to be white. We select both and we were going to combine them. We are going to unite them. So if we go to more actions here, you can see here is an option for union selection. It's just work the same way with Illustrator, the Pathfinder tool, right? We all learned about that. Union selection. And you can also subtract, intersect, exclude selection, right, to make some changes of the shape. We're going to union the selection and drag it here. Okay, the thing is, I still want to add a drop-down shadow so you can see it clearly, make everything stand out well. So we're going to the effect tool and we add a drop-down shadow here. You can decide the size, you can decide the position. I think usually 1, 1 or -1. Okay, works better, right? So yeah, so you can always try different number to finally achieve the results you want. So we're going to put here. Yeah, then we need the arrow here. So we can just steal from here. We can Command C, Command V, drag it down. Okay, it's not at the front. So we will need to right click and make sure it's bring it to front. And we rotate it. Yeah, I'm just going to enter 0, right? So it's get accurate. It's still at the right click and let's bring it to front. Okay, so if it's not at the front, you can see where it's at from the layers and drag it to the top. And yeah, make sure it's at the center. The ruler will always help you do that, which is pretty good. Okay, so now let's work on the buttons here, right? So we'll be working from a rectangle. Let's draw a button. It's very easy to create. Yeah, you can give it a radius, and you are going to fill in with the color. It's using this color here. It's already listed here. Yes, probably it's not that huge, so we will just follow the example, right? But for your own design, when you are designing your own kiosk, you can decide how large it would be. Under the text, yeah, so we're going to fill in with the orange color, and we can give it we can make it bold to make looks right. We can always use the position tool to make sure it's aligned well. Okay, I'm going to select them. I'm going to select them, and we'll do Option Shift drag out, because we need another button, which is the restart menu, right? We can change the text inside. Okay, we want to make sure the alignment is correct. Okay, so now let's change the color. Right now the text is white and the background is orange, right? It's the design here, right? Yeah, and that's the same thing. Total, what's the total price? So yeah, just do total. Is, for example, it's still $0. Great, and we have to make them aligned, right? Yeah, you can see that the grid is very helpful. I can making sure I leave two space here, and here is also I leave two space here, two grid of space here. Yeah, and we need a little line, a little vertical line here. I'm just use the pen tool to draw it. Yeah, so we can shrink the decrease the size by hold on. So if you're holding on the option key, you can see your line could be shrink towards center. If you're holding on option shift, it's more option shift make it more stable, and you can extend the length or reduce the length like here. Okay, just going to move it closer to the text. Yeah, so now I'm going to show you how to do how to import a Illustrator file into your design. Yeah, so we're going to click on this one, the actions. And then we're going to the plugins. You can see the Convertify, Sketch, Adobe, Google. So if you can't see this one, which means you haven't installed the plugins yet. What you need to do is you can tap it, right? Convertify. Yes. When you tap in, you can find this one in your Figma. Click on it. As you install it, you can click. After you install it, you can click on it, and you can select from here. You can say, go to the drop-down menu. You said I want to import my Adobe Illustrator to Figma, and you can select a Illustrator file. Okay, let's cancel it. Also make sure you will import artboards as vector layers, so your design would be more clear, having a higher quality, right? Then we're going to select the file you already made in Illustrator. For example, this one, right? You create a beautiful logo in Illustrator and you want to use it in Figma, and you save your Illustrator file and just open it in Figma in this way. Yeah, and it will at first it will just give you a frame. And you can see all the elements here, they are vector arts, right? You can make adjustment, keep designing them if you want, right? You can change the color you want, and you can just play with the anchor point when you need to. So it's still the vector arts. Okay, so we're going to Command G to group the burger leg logo, and we delete the frame because if you don't need them. So hold on Shift key, reduce the size, the logo size, and put it here. Right, so that's the way you import Illustrator elements into Figma, and you make sure it's horizontal center. Okay, Command G, group it again, horizontal centers. Yeah, so for the rest of the scene, I believe you already know how to do everything, right? So we just do it real quick. We need a burger. title. Yeah, just randomly select one, and we need it to okay, and see. Okay, it's weird. Yeah, and you're going to increase the size because this is the title, and making sure it's still aligned with other elements like this. Yeah, I want it to be bigger. Great. Yeah, so now we're going to do the buttons here. Actually, I'm going to steal these two buttons here. We can Command C, Command V, drag them here, right? Because they should be exactly the same style. Okay. Chicken, and this one is center. Command G, Command G. Yes, and yeah, just to display them, yeah. Yes, in a good way, right? Also, if you want to make, we want to make these three elements to be horizontal. No, they should be vertical center, right? So they're at the same level here. Yeah, and also we always need a back button for our kiosk design. C, Command V. Yes, and you're going to just display it here. Going to do everything really quick. Yes, so we have a back button, and we also have a language. You can switch the language, right? So this is a common settings in the kiosk design. Yeah, we can still copy these here. And we rotate it. It should be negative 180, right? And change the language. Yeah. So these two text would be bold, would it make them looks better, right? So this is the final interface. This is just a demo for the interface design of a kiosk. Okay, so now in the class we'll also talk about how to do the horizontal scroll and also how to do the vertical scroll, right? So I'm going to show you again. So first, a horizontal scroll, I would recommend you to just take those elements out first. Then let's copy, Command C, Command V. I just copy some other, just suppose these are some other options. They are all different options. I'm going to select everything and I'm going to create use auto layout. Then you can see they combine into one frame here. Right, so yeah. So they should have just to make sure they have the even spacing. So once you're done, let's put it back. Yeah, so for now you can see something disappear here, but don't worry, they're still there. So let's drag the bounding box to here. So you will need to decide how much elements do you want to show on the screen, right? So I just want to show this area with the bounding box. For the rest, if you want to see the rest of the elements, you will need to do a horizontal scroll. Yes, so once I set up my bounding box to here, I will click the content. Then I will go into the prototype, and going to the prototype, because we're going to build an interaction. For the overflow, we will change no scrolling into horizontal scroll. Yeah, then let's from here is the present. So you can always check how your design works, right? So click on this button and you can see this is our interface design, right? And if we you can see we can do a horizontal scroll, right? It's pretty smooth. They allow you to access into more elements. Yeah, so this is the horizontal scroll, and we can also do a vertical scroll, right? So when we get back to the interface design, we were going to switch back to the design, right? Select this design, so we get back. Yeah, so it's pretty much work the similar way. We're also going to copy option shift, copy another group, and we select them all, and we do the auto layout. So when we applying the auto layout, it can prove that everything has the even spacing, right? So which is a really nice tool here. Then we're going to bring it back to our interface. Okay, so before doing that, what we want to do is I want to group this menu here, Command G, right? You see all the elements are grouped, and we move it back. Okay, so now we're going to, so first let's bring our menu to the front. The bottom menu, right click, we're going to bring it to the front. Right click, bring to front. Yes, and the same thing is for the burgers, we will need to set the bounding box here. We just simply drag it to a place, for example to here, which means I only want this part to be showing on the screen, right? If you want to see more elements, you will need to scroll in it. Yeah, so now let's go to clip content, right? This is very important, and we need to select it. Then we're going to the prototype. So from the overflow, we will change it into vertical scroll, right? So this one is horizontal scroll, while this one is the vertical scroll. Then I'm going to click on my the name of my page. I'm going to test it to see to see if everything works well. Yeah, now you can see we did a horizontal scroll, right? And we yes, and you can see we do the vertical scroll, we have a horizontal scroll. The interface looks very real in this way. Yeah, so in our in-class practice, if you go back to file, you can see what your previous has. So in our in-class practice, I ask you to do this page, right? Actually, I'm just going to copy it somewhere. Yeah, so in our in-class, all of you have already viewed this page on your own, right? So this is your, for example, I will say this is checkout burger. Give it a name. Always give it a name so you'll notice which frame you are working on, right? We got 2 frames right now. One is the burger, the other one burgers, the other one is checkout the burger. Yeah, so when we get into this page, we need to set an interaction, right? Which means when I said I want to buy the burger, the Big King, when I select one of the burger, it should lead me to this page. When I hit down, it should lead me back to the original page I come from. So to build interactions, we will need to go to the prototype, selecting the prototype, and we're going to double click to make sure you are selecting this area, right? So which means when people click on Big King, it will lead them to check out the Big King. So the trigger is on click. You can see here are different types of trigger, but usually if it's an app or it's a kiosk, usually people will just click it, right? The action, navigate, make sure the navigate to destination is checked out big burger page. So here are different, still a lot of actions for you to select, but we'll cover more about them later. For this practice, we select the navigate to. So the animation we'll just keep it instant, but you can try different one to see what's happening. Yes, we'll cover about them later. Yeah, so for the down button, we'll just click, lead it back, point it back to the previous page, which means on the trigger, I'm going to delete the interaction and set it again. So point to the burger page, make sure the trigger is on click, right? So if there's no on click showing up, you will need to just delete the interactions from here and reset it again, right? So now let's check. Go to click on burgers and click on percent. Let's see if it works. I'm going to buy this burger, so I click on it and I come to this page and I hit done. It's going back, right? Yeah, so these are the skills, the tools we covered in our first demo. For the next class, we will learn more about Figma, right? We will create more, try more functions. So for your weekend assignments, you will try to, this is your reference image on Canvas, right? You will need to create a new page and do exactly the same contents as this one. So just feel free to choose your own image online, yes, and build your design. Yes, and remember how do we create a new frame, right? So you can, if you want to copy this frame, you can click Command C, Command V. If you want a blank one, you can just go here, right, and click on the board and just enter the settings, right, the settings of the size, 330 by 600. Yeah, then you get the same frame here, right? Yeah, so this is our demo for today. So just let me know if you have any questions.